Emerging Brain Search is illuminating the role feedback plays in helping the brain to learn. In this section, we will explore learning by helping student brains measure desirability of outcomes through feedback. This will lay the foundation for a case study to explore how School of Business faculties can help students measure desirability of outcomes while reinforcing productive competencies. We will also consider the degree to which faculties are responsible for student outcomes while we identify resources available for conducting interventions to foster positive outcomes for struggling students. Exploring the neurobiology of learning, neuroeconomists Antonio Rangel, Colin Kammerer, and Reed Montague said that the brain must measure the desirability of outcomes before it can learn. Applied to the School of Business classroom, faculty feedback helps students to determine the degree to which a deliverable or behavior meets requirements. In other words, feedback helps students recognize dissonance or disconnect between where they are and where they need to be, so they can take corrective action. With the objective of creating self-perpetuating feedback loops in a dynamic learning system, channels that the faculty can initiate, manage, and influence include faculty to student, faculty to class, student to team, student to class, student to support group, including family, friends, community, student to institution, student to workplace, student to market. Now, such feedback cycles are essential because they help the brain update processes, generate connections, and even produce neurons that can help improve the quality of learning. In the School of Business classroom, these feedback loops are especially important because they help connect classroom activities to real-world events while helping students compare their performance against expectations beyond the classroom. To Rangel and Company, such feedback cycles are essential because they help the brain to update processes, generate connections, and even produce neurons that can improve the quality of learning. In the School of Business classroom, these feedback loops are especially important because they help connect classroom activities to real-world events while helping students compare their performance against expectations beyond the classroom. While feedback is essential for helping students recognize and close the gap between performance and expectations, it also can reinforce current behaviors as correct. This strengthens neural networks, turning practice into habit. Important here is to make sure the tone and substance of feedback is appropriate to the behavior. Just as praise for accomplishment can reinforce positive behaviors, offering praise for or ignoring bad practices can dilute developmental feedback. Worse, it can reinforce the bad practices. This later point is essential for helping teachers understand the role of relevant, timely, and substantive feedback in guiding student learning. In short, feedback can reinforce bad behavior as well as good. For example, the faculty who awards substandard outcomes by rubber stamping A's with positive, laudatory generic comments is reinforcing bad practice as virtue. This enables students to learn that their poor outcomes are acceptable. Before moving on, let's reflect on what we've learned about how the brain measures desirability of outcomes to learn. First, how can you make sure your feedback is helping students to measure the desirability of outcomes so they can learn, while not reinforcing bad behaviors? Second, To what degree are faculties accountable for student outcomes? Are adult learners entirely responsible for their own development? Or does the faculty serve a role in helping students establish goals and measure outcomes in relation to those goals? Finally, what resources does the university offer to help you provide feedback to conduct interventions with students who are struggling with academic competencies like integrity, research, APA, writing, and collaboration? For more information about the topics covered in this presentation, please see the following sources. Thank you for joining us. Now please, consider sharing your reflections with your colleagues.